Okay. So today I am. My name is Dr. Muhammad Asir Healthwala. Today we will discuss very important topic: how to avoid procrastination. We will ask questions to Maya, and she will give us expert answers. So let us start. So, hi Maya, I will ask the first question that what is procrastination in simple terms? And why do people, why do, why do, why, yeah, why do, and why do people procrastinate? Is procrastinate always harmful? Yeah, I am asking that why do people procrastinate?
Sorry, I'm not following. Could you try rephrasing that question?
Yeah,
I think there might have been some audio issues. Maybe you could try asking again.
yeah.
I'm listening.
I am asking that why do people procrastinate?
I'm still not. People procrastinate for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes it's fear of failure. If someone thinks they might not do well on a task, they avoid starting it so they don't have to face that possibility. Perfectionism plays a role too. If they think they can't do something perfectly, they might not do it at all. Basically, it's often about emotions, avoiding negative feelings like stress, anxiety, or boredom. What else are you curious about in that area?
Yeah. When we had ever delayed an important task, what happened?
What happens when we delay an important task? Well, usually it creates more stress because the deadline's getting closer. That can lead to more anxiety. You might rush through the task at the last minute and not do your best work, or sometimes you end up not being able to finish it at all, which has its own consequences. Basically, putting things off rarely makes things easier. It usually just compounds the problem.
Yeah. And,
Makes sense, right?
yeah.
I'm
And
listening.
do you think
Ready for your next question?
do you think procrastination is a habit or a mindset?
Good question. It's definitely both. Procrastination starts as a habit. You keep putting things off and it becomes a pattern. But underneath that habit is often a mindset piece too. It's about how you think about tasks, your fears around failure, or maybe even how you manage your time. It's like a cycle. The mindset drives the habit, and the habit reinforces the mindset.
Right. So in the beginning, we will start uh, as a initially, and gradually it develops into habit. Right. And
Exactly.
what are the
I'm listening.
what are the main
Go
reasons?
ahead.
What are the main reasons
The
people procrastinate?
reasons people procrastinate.
Yeah.
Fear is a big one. Fear of failure or success, surprisingly. Then there's perfectionism, low self confidence, task aversion, like just not wanting to do it. Also, poor time management skills and just plain old lack of motivation can all feed into it. Some people also procrastinate to avoid boredom or discomfort.
Uh,
Quite a list, isn't it?
yeah. And
So many.
how does
I'm here.
how does
How does what?
let me
Take your time.
How
I'm listening. Take your time.
how does
How does what?
how does fear of failure
You okay?
lead to
Take your time, no rush. Ah, I think I got it. How does fear of failure lead to procrastination? Is that right?
yes?
Right. So, when you're afraid of failing, the actual work feels overwhelming. You might think, what if I try and mess it up anyway? Which makes starting feel worse than avoiding it. It becomes easier to tell yourself, I'll do it when I'm more prepared, or maybe I'll try tomorrow. Essentially, avoiding the work avoids the possibility of experiencing that failure you're dreading. The problem is that avoidance becomes the thing that actually sets you up for failure. Deadlines get closer, stress builds up, and quality suffers.
Can
Make
perfection,
sense?
of course, can perfectionism
Perfectionism is
cause delays?
can
How?
perfection
How?
how that came through really fragmented. Was that cause blazers? How? I'm not sure what you were asking there.
I'm asking, can perfectionism cause delays? How?
You mean can perfectionism cause delays? How?
Yes.
Yes. Perfectionism is a really sneaky cause of procrastination. If you need everything to be perfect, even just starting feels impossible. Where do you even begin? You end up getting stuck on small details or overthinking it because anything less than perfect feels unacceptable. It's paralyzing. You spend more time planning and worrying than actually doing.
And how does lack of motivation affect productivity?
Lack of motivation really undermines productivity because without the desire to start or complete a task, it's like trying to push a car uphill. Your mind starts searching for easier options, easier distractions. You might find yourself doing less important things that feel easier or more rewarding in the moment, like scrolling social media instead of working on a project. It's a vicious cycle because the more you avoid things, the less motivated you feel, and the easier it is to keep procrastinating.
Does social media increase procrastination? Why?
Definitely. Social media has likely made procrastination worse for a few reasons. One, it's engineered to be addictive. Those notifications, the infinite scroll, it hijacks your attention. Second, it creates this constant comparison. So if you're already down on yourself or dreading work, it's easy to just disappear down the rabbit hole of other people's highlights. Plus, it's a fast lane to instant gratification. So tackling longer, harder tasks feels that much harder in comparison.
And what role does
I'm listening.
stress play?
In procrastination, you mean?
Yes. What?
Stress actually creates this paradox with procrastination. When you're stressed, your brain releases cortisol. In small doses, cortisol can actually help you focus. But in large doses, when you're constantly overwhelmed, it basically overwhelms your cognitive functions. You freeze up, your decision making gets worse, and all you want to do is escape. That's when procrastination really kicks in because you start avoiding the tasks that are causing that stress in the first place. It's like your brain is telling you, stay safe, don't deal with this scary thing. But of course, avoiding things actually adds to the stress long term.
Yes. And how does anxiety?
A real, I'm not quite sure what you said there. The encyclical part didn't come through clearly. But could you try that question again?
How does anxiety affect our ability to start tasks?
Anxiety acts a bit like a brake pedal on starting tasks. When you're anxious, your fight or flight response kicks in. Your brain is braced for a threat, even if there isn't one. It makes your mind race and focus on worst case scenarios. Feels safer to, avoid the trigger, the potential disaster, than to actually start something and risk feeling that way. Your amygdala basically takes over decision making and says, nope, This feels dangerous. Let's avoid it.
Right. And can
Right.
procrastination
What's your next question?
can procrast
About procrastination?
1 minute. Can
I wasn't sure what you meant by can't look at.
can
Could you try rephrasing that question for me?
yes.
I'm listening.
Yes,
I'm still here waiting for your next question.
yes, give me.
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Can procrastination
I think
lead
you were starting a new question, but
to low?
you were asking how we can stop procrastinating?
No, no.
Okay, a few things can help.
Let me listen.
First,
First,
break down big tasks into tiny steps, much less daunting. Then, try the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it right away. Remove distractions, put your phone on silent, turn off notifications, use time boxing techniques, schedule specific blocks of time for work. Be kind to yourself too. Procrastination happens. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just try again. Does any of that sound useful?
well, let me complete my
What about it?
question, then answer. Huh? Let me complete my question.
Absolutely.
Can
Okay, go
procrastination
ahead. Finish your.
can procrastination
Sorry, I'm not following.
can procrastination
Can progress.
hello Maya, please
You mean can.
let me complete the question. Can procrastination be
Yes,
linked
of course.
to low self confidence?
Can procrastination be linked to low self confidence? Is
Yes.
that what you meant? Yes, absolutely. Procrastination often reinforces low self confidence. When you keep putting things off, you start feeling more and more discouraged about your ability to handle things. Then your self doubt gets worse, which leads to more procrastination. It's this negative cycle. Each delay reinforces that voice in your head saying, you're not good enough, or you'll probably mess this up anyway.
So,
Right.
so with every delay and with every low self confidence,
It can be,
it is this is a vicious
yeah.
cycle.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you said there. I think the audio came through a bit fragmented. Could you try repeating that question?
Yeah, yeah. Now I will ask the next question. Why do we prefer short term pleasure over long term success?
Because short term pleasure gives us an immediate dopamine hit. Our brains are wired to seek out rewards right now, that quick check of social media, that snack instead of working on the long term project. Long term success requires delayed gratification, which feels harder because the payoff is further away. It's easy to choose the instant feel good option over the delayed, but more valuable outcome. That's why discipline and long term planning can be so challenging.
And how does mindset influence procrastination?
Your mindset really dictates how you approach tasks. A growth mindset where you believe skills can be developed helps you view challenges as opportunities to learn instead of threats. Fixed mindset, the belief that your abilities are set in stone, makes tasks feel overwhelming because everything needs to be perfect on the first try or it's a failure. Also, framing. If you tell yourself, I have to do this horrible thing versus I get to work on something interesting, your motivation shifts dramatically.
Uh, this is all that if you have growth
Thank you.
growth mind.
Anything else you'd like to cover about procrastination?
There are
I'm not quite sure I caught that. Could you repeat the question about growth and your heart?
yeah. I will ask the next question.
What can we add?
What are the
Go ahead, I'm listening.
negative
You mean what's
effects?
the next strategy?
This let
Procrastination,
me
or what are the negative effects
Maya,
of
please let me
procrastinating?
complete the question. Let me complete the question. What are the negative effects of procrastination?
Oh, you mean procrastination? What are the negative effects of procrastination? They're pretty significant, actually. It creates more stress, lower quality work, missed deadlines, feelings of guilt and shame, can even damage your relationships if you're constantly letting people down. Long term, it can hurt your career, your reputation, and your overall mental health. Basically, putting things off just doesn't really pay off in the end.
Next question is, how does it impact?
I'm ready.
How does it impact
How
mental
does
health?
what im-
How does it impact mental?
procrast
Maya,
Yeah, impacts.
let me complete the question. Then
Right, mental health.
yes, how does it impact mental health?
Okay. It's pretty tough on your mental health. Procrastination creates chronic stress because you're always worrying about what you're avoiding. It also leads to feelings of anxiety, guilt, shame, and sometimes even depression. It erodes your self esteem over time because each delayed task is basically like breaking promises to yourself. The longer you put things off, the more anxious you become. Then that anxiety makes it even harder to start and you get stuck in the cycle. It's really a significant mental health strain.
Okay. And how it affect career growth?
Procrastination can seriously stunt career growth. Putting tasks off means work is often rushed, lower quality, or deadlines are missed, which can create a bad reputation. It damages reliability too. If you don't deliver when you say you will, people will stop trusting you with important assignments. Missing deadlines impacts performance reviews, promotion opportunities, and ultimately career advancement. You want to build a reputation as someone who's dependable, follows through, and delivers quality work. And procrastination works against all of that.
Okay. And how does
It
it?
really adds up over time, doesn't it? And doing well. How about you?
Fine. Next question is, how does it influence academic performance?
It's pretty straightforward, actually. Procrastination hurts academic performance by creating rushed work, lower grades, and increased stress around exams. When you cram at the last minute, you don't have time to process information deeply. You're just trying to memorize it without understanding. It creates a cycle of anxiety around school and lowers your overall learning because learning is hard when you're always behind.
And what happens when it becomes a habit?
When procrastination becomes a habit, it's more than just occasionally delaying tasks. It becomes an automatic pattern. Your brain actually starts to prefer that temporary relief of avoiding work over the long term benefits of getting things done. It can make you more anxious in general and affect your self esteem. Harder tasks become overwhelming just at the thought. It impacts your ability to manage future workload effectively too, because you've already proven to yourself that avoidance works. Breaking that habit is really hard once it's established.
And what are simple ways to overcome procrastination?
I think you're asking about how to overcome procrastination. Right.
Yes.
There are a few simple things that can help. Start small, break down tasks into really tiny, manageable steps. Use the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Reduce distractions, put your phone away, close unnecessary tabs. Schedule specific times for tasks rather than just hoping you'll get to them. And be kind to yourself. Everyone procrastinates sometimes. Don't get discouraged.
So according to you, that there is one is 2-minute rule. Then you do it immediately.
Yes,
Break tasks into smaller steps. It also helps. And I think also set goals. So that setting goals also helps to reduce delays. It is okay.
definitely. Having clear, specific goals makes things less overwhelming and gives you a direction to work towards. When you know what you're aiming for and why, it's easier to overcome that initial inertia and just get started. It's hard to work on something when you're not sure what you're working towards. That clarity really helps.
Okay. This What role does time management play? Time management, what is the role of it?
Time management is huge when it comes to beating procrastination. Good time management helps you prioritize tasks so you know what to work on first. Techniques like time blocking, to do lists, and setting deadlines force you to allocate time for things instead of just hoping you'll get around to them. It provides structure when
Right.
procrastination thrives on chaos. Basically, time management gives you control when procrastination makes you feel powerless.
Okay. And so you told that
Makes sense?
to-do list, yeah, to-do list improve
Uh,
productivity. Good.
To-do lists are one form of time management that can help. I think you meant so to-do lists can help. If so, yes. They're great for breaking down tasks and prioritizing them, especially when combined with time blocking.
And what is a Pomodoro technique?
What is the Pomodoro technique is another really helpful method. It's working in focus 25-minute intervals with short breaks in between. It's great because it breaks work into manageable chunks, keeps you from getting overwhelmed, and makes focus more intentional. Those short breaks also prevent burnout. Works really well for a lot of people.
Good. And how can we develop
You're
discipline?
welcome.
How can we develop discipline?
Develop
Discipline.
self-discipline
Let me complete. How can we develop
to build self.
how can we develop this
How can we build discipline?
to avoid?
Start small.
Okay.
One small habit to build at a time. Don't try to change everything at once. Consistency is key. Do that one habit every day, even when you don't feel like it. Remove distractions. Reward yourself when you stick to your habits. And don't give up completely if you miss a day. Just get back on track the next day. It's a muscle, and it gets stronger with practice.
Good. And
Small steps, consistency, rewards. That's the framework.
nice. What does habits reduce procrastination? What daily habits reduce?
Building good. I'm sorry, I can't fully understand what
What
you meant there. Could you try
what?
rephrasing that question about daily habits and procrastination?
Yeah.
I think I miss parts of what you were saying. I'm listening when you're ready.
What daily habits
Mm.
reduce procrastination?
Ooh, good question. Um, Start with morning routines, like making your bed, drinking water, and some exercise before opening your phone. Plan the night before with daily task lists and, priorities. Break tasks into smaller steps, as we talked about. Minimize distractions from your phone and notifications. And practice time blocking by scheduling when you'll work on important tasks, even if it's just for 20 minutes.
How does a healthy routine improve focus?
I'm not familiar with Helvira. Can you clarify what you meant to ask? It might have been garbled by the audio. Perhaps you were asking how to improve focus.
How does a healthy routine improve focus?
A healthy routine creates predictability and consistency, which reduces mental fatigue and makes it easier to concentrate. When you have habits around sleep, exercise, nutrition, and even just taking breaks throughout the day, your brain doesn't have to waste energy on deciding, should I exercise or what should I eat? It's all already decided for you. The less your mind has to manage during the day, the more mental energy it has available for focus and productivity.
Right. And can accountability partners help? How?
Um, Absolutely. Accountability partners can be super helpful. Having someone you check in with regularly, maybe sharing your goals or task lists and getting their feedback creates social pressure to actually follow through. They can offer encouragement when you get stuck or challenge you when you make excuses. The support network definitely makes it harder to put things off when you know someone else is counting on you.
And the last question, what is one power?
And the last question, what's your last? Oh, sorry, that came through really garbled. I think one forward might have been misheard. Didn't quite catch what you meant to ask there. Yes.
What is one powerful
Go
tip?
ahead when you're ready for your last question.
What is one powerful tip you would give to
To
overcome
combat,
procrastination?
to help with procrastination? The most powerful thing is to break down tasks into insanely small, easy steps. Seriously. Instead of write paper, it's open laptop and type one sentence. Makes it way less overwhelming. The initial friction of starting is the worst part. If you can knock down that mental barrier by just starting something tiny, you might actually keep going and then feel amazing about yourself.
Thank you very much, Maya.
You're very welcome. That was a really thorough session on procrastination.
Thank you. So we discussed this topic with Maya to how to avoid procrastination. And in this, the main message is break the task into small, mini steps, and help you a lot. Keep us himself motivated. Develop a daily routine, and this is also helps a lot. Uh, get it fine. Avoid distractions. Keep motivated to avoid procrastination. Thank you very much.